Presenting Channeling Erik's Hour of Enlightenment.
Yes, prepare for the enlightenment, people. I want everybody to, Michelle couldn't make it today because she woke up sick, so everybody send healing energy and prayers her way, please. But we do have the wonderful Abby Dagnese here, filling her shoes. Yes, hi, Abby. Hello, Erik. Because the topic we're going to talk about is how everything is transforming right now. You guys know this. You see the news, you feel it in your heart. And Erik said, as light workers, we need the most right now. And he's going to tell us why. But first, I would like to just pause. And I want to take an international call because it's expensive to call in. And, I see she's on the line. So can we take that first, Erik, please, before we start the topic?
Erik says, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, I love you, baby. Okay.
He says, love you too,
Mama. Oh. Here we are, international caller. Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, Maria. How are you?
Hi, Maria. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Italy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm calling from Italy.
You know what, Maria? I went when I was 60 years old on a bike ride, took our bikes and with my father, and we went all around the northern Italian lakes, and I'm telling you, it was beautiful. And I was young, but I said, I'm going to live in Ghana when I grow up. Of course, that didn't happen. It's so beautiful, man.
It is. It's very beautiful. Well, if you ever want to come to Italy, you can stay with me.
Oh, yay. All right, so I have questions if you want to connect. So we're here
yes,
to help.
I'd like to connect with Luigi Simonelli. He died 2 years ago of COVID, but he was sick, and I don't know how much longer he would have lived, but any time longer would have been great. And the thing is that he was, isolated, and I had COVID too, so I couldn't even go and see him, but they wouldn't have let me in anyway. And
you didn't get closure.
Yes, because we didn't even get to. I couldn't even say goodbye to him. I couldn't. His cell phone went out, and they took it away from him, so I couldn't even call him. It was just terrible.
Oh gosh! Wow. Well, hi Maria. It's nice to meet you. My name's Abby. And,
yes, hi Abby.
Thanks. Hi, thank you for coming on today. My family's actually from Italy, so. So I get to do this reading for you. They're from
her
family's
from Italy. Dagnese. It's Dagnese, but it's Dagnese.
Yep, it is. And Paola is actually in Italy right now. That's where she lives.
Paola Marino, the one that's doing our documentary. All right, so can we get Luigi Simonelli here? Erik, can you bring him?
I'm already feeling his energy here. And he's saying, hello, my dear. Was he your husband?
No, he was my partner for 17 years.
Oh, okay. Because there's this very sweet, romantic connection between the two of you.
There is.
More than that,
he was the love of my life.
I was going to say much more than that. He feels like your best friend.
Yeah,
kind of like the kind of kindredship that you've known this person your whole life, like that feeling. You know how sometimes you meet somebody, even if they're older, it's like, I know your soul, I recognize you. And he's telling me right now that when he looked into your eyes, he recognized you. So he's giving you confirmation that I'm asking him right now, like, what was your connection in this lifetime? Were you twin flames? Were you soulmates?
I was going to ask that, Yeah.
He says, absolutely, hands down, soulmates. He says, we didn't fight. He says, I just wanted to see her happy. His hands, he's showing me his hands right now. Did he work with his hands?
Oh, yes, he did a lot.
Yeah.
He painted, he worked in the garden, he sailed, he did a lot of things.
Yes, I'm seeing his skin complexion is very tan, actually. And
his complexion?
His complexion is tan. He's tan.
Yes, it is tan.
Like he's been out in the sun, yeah.
Always,
and he's got
always. Oh my God! Oh my God! I love him so much. I love him so much.
Did they have a lot of lives together, Abby or Luigi?
They're in each other's soul groups. He says, "Oh, this is so romantic." He says, "No matter what, we find each other."
No matter what?
No matter what, you find each other.
You find each other.
He always tries.
Will we have another life together?
You'll have every life together. So you'll play out different roles with each. I'm getting spirit bumps, which means that he's giving me confirmation and he's happy that I'm giving you this information. He's a very sweet man. He's got thicker eyebrows.
He was adorable.
Yeah.
Everybody loved him. Everybody who knew him loved him.
He's wearing this hat, brown hat, and I don't know what the name of this particular hat is called.
It's like a Panama?
Yeah, yes, that's the word. I was like, I know that my grandfather wore this hat at least once.
Yes, he used to wear that. He used to wear that. Oh, my God.
He's showing me the coast of Italy right now, and it looks like Capri, like just absolutely gorgeous coast. He still chooses to spend his time, down here, just really enjoying. I guess he really likes the seacoast.
He does. He was a sailor on the sail. Yeah, he had a sailboat.
I do see him. He's showing me imagery of when he was a younger man. Was he in the military?
Yes, he was for a short period because in Italy everybody has to do it for a couple of years.
Oh, okay, really? I never knew that.
Let me ask one question before we take another caller, and that's the elephant in the room. Luigi, can you give Maria some comfort about not being able to have the closure, saying goodbye at the very end?
He's showing me holding your hands. He's holding his hands in yours. And he looks deep into your eyes, and he says, I have your heart. I have your whole heart, as you do have my heart and my whole heart. And you'll always know that we'll always find each other again, my dear. He says, until we meet again, this is a beautiful life. And I thank you.
Oh, sweetheart.
And he's happy and healthy.
Who was there when he crossed over? Who was there? Who was he with?
Let's see. The first person that greeted him, it looks like, was his mother. And then also his father. Did he have a brother that crossed?
No, he had a sister.
No, okay. There's this young man that's on the other side that also greeted him.
That must be his son.
Oh, it's his son. Okay. So, this younger gentleman also greeted him. So, it was very, he must have believed in Jesus as well, because I see Jesus standing right behind them. He's confirming that he was religious. Was he Catholic?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So he was thanking Jesus and saying, "Oh, he's so sweet." He's like, "It was a beautiful life. It was a beautiful life." Thank you. Yes.
Maria, thank you for calling in, and I think that you probably need to call in a few more times because I think this has been very healing for you. Okay, sweetie?
Oh, yes. Oh, thank you so much. I just love you guys so much.
Well,
I hope he finally realized that Erik exists, because I used to tell him, when you cross over, go to Erik, and he would laugh at it.
He says the curly-haired boy.
What did he say?
He's saying the curly-headed boy.
Yes.
He says, oh, yes.
Oh, that's sweet.
Thank you so much.
So Erik did take care of him during the crossing, meet him?
Erik didn't really need to, because he had a lot of family that was already
he did. He had a lot of family.
Yeah.
He also had his wife, who died when she was young of cancer.
Oh, yeah. His transition was very easy when he crossed. It's just as easy, he says, as walking into another room.
Oh,
so
thank
there was
God, thank God, because he suffered in the last year.
Yeah, no, when it was time for him to cross, it really was, he says he's putting his right foot out and places it down on the ground. And it was that easy. The veil was that thin. There was no, he says he was ready.
All right, Maria, thank you so much for calling, sweetie.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Oh, she's so lovely.
She's
all right,
so
so,
sweet.
and Luigi, I wish I could have met him, maybe in another life.
I wish we could feel this
Eric,
energy
we're going to
from
talk
him.
about light workers. Call to duty for light workers right now.
You know, it's funny because when I read the topic before I was coming on tonight, I was like having a discussion in my head here with Erik about it. And like, well, Erik, what do you want me to say? And, you know, I just kept thinking about history and just all the different times in history. It's like, obviously, with the Roe versus Wade just being overturned a couple of days ago, it's like everybody's emotions are running so high.
True.
And actually, Erik was prepping me for tonight all day today before I even knew I was coming on. And he was giving me, not just him, but my other guides were also giving me just really great advice about, you know, before everybody has their wholehearted opinion based on their own circumstances and their experiences and their religious beliefs and how they were raised politically and whatever. But, like, really, actually, I sat down today. I'm like, you know, I'm almost 40 years old, and I'm ashamed to say this, but I've never read the Constitution of the United States of America.
I haven't read it.
So I
Yeah.
sat down and I read it, and then I went over the Bill of Rights. And I'm like, you know, I guess it's a really important time. And Erik is confirming with me right now. He goes, it's about time.
Okay,
which is funny because I'm like, I'm picking on him right now, and I'm picking on him, and I'm like, oh, really, Erik? How many times did you read the Constitution, huh?
Not one. Not
Exactly. One. Exactly. He says, that's not fair. I probably would have eventually.
They didn't overturn it. They just gave the decision to the states. And the liberal states, of course, they're going to be able to, you know, have until right before birth abortions, which I don't like at all.
So what I got out of, like, reading all of the information that I read today, and remember, I did just do that session with Roe versus Wade.
Yeah,
and so that's pretty interesting that happened, like, boom, when it did. I wasn't expecting that. And so, like, what I was really happy about that my spirits guided me to, and Erik guided me to, and Jesus guided me to, was really kind of coming to my own conclusions based on, like, information, factual information I was reading about how they came to that decision, why they came to that decision, what they were thinking about. I mean, why they were thinking about it. And it's like, I never in my lifetime ever needed to think about what what their jobs even are. Like, I was born in 82, so in the 80s and 90s, it just, like, the judicial branches and the Supreme Courts, I mean, I knew what they were, but, like, I didn't really pay attention. So after, like, doing all the reading that I did, and I was, like, thanking Erik for just, like, help, just kind of giving me the time today to sit and really just kind of ponder it and read about the Constitution, read about the Bill of Rights, read about exactly what the legislation does. And, you know, it came to the conclusion of, of course you need light workers like we've always done in American history. It's just right now there's some really profound things happening in my lifetime and in yours, that it's like the vote of the people in their states. Because you're right, it was turned over to the states, you know, and so that's actually what the Constitution was based off of anyway, was the rights of the states. Do you remember? Like,
wait, it's interesting they call it federalism, because that sounds like it's on a national level. But the closer the control gets to the people, like state, local, city, you know, stuff like that, the more democratic it is. You know, I mean, it's very difficult to create policy that applies to the entire nation, because we're all different, and different parts of the country have different values and religions or not religions and, you know, beliefs. So it's much better. The closer it gets to the hands of the people, the better it is.
And that's what our forefathers wanted for us. And it's amazing how they had that foresight ahead of time, you know, to like make it that way. And it's amazing if you read about it, how like Ruth Bader, you know, over the course of her time in the Supreme Court has been telling us and warning us really this whole time, like, hey, there's some loopholes here. This could get overturned. And it's kind of like nobody took her seriously. You know?
That's true.
Do you remember, Lisa, when Roe versus Wade originally happened?
No. I was in high school. I don't remember. I didn't pay attention because the last thing I was going to think about is getting an abortion. But as a doctor, now looking back, how horrible that it was completely illegal and that, you know, hangers were used, people died, mothers died, etc. But now it's different. It's the age of the ultrasound. We can see 3D pictures of our babies, and that has changed a lot of minds, the ultrasound. And, you know, it's and also we have Plan B, which I don't think they should ban. I think that would be a big mistake. God, yeah. You know, we have to reconsider because things have changed. Technology has changed. The knowledge of science has changed. Pharmaceutical agents like Plan B has changed. So, yeah, you have to reconsider sometimes, you know?
So what Erik is saying right now is that's right, Mom. He says that's exactly it. He says you're on point with that, and the fact that this is why it's a real call to action, he says. And this is why that him and Michelle picked that topic that they did, because it's a real cry out to people to read, he says, about your nationalism. That's such a great word, Erik.
Big word for a little boy.
I know. So you can tell when it's not Erik? Coming from me. It sounds so profound.
No, you're smart, girl.
So he says it's true. He says you live in the great red, white, and blue. He says, you know, you have to really. He says don't just pick up a newspaper and read. He says, he says sometimes Wikipedia can be more reliable than what's going on in the newspaper or on the evening news. He says, just read the facts. So I think that is so cool that I didn't even know I was going to do this tonight. And, like, the entire day, Erik has been, like, putting this in my head and talking to me about why we need light workers and why they're important right now. And, you know, throughout different times in history, you know, it's like you think about World War II. I don't remember World War II, but my grandfather passed away because of World War II. He was a pilot, and he flew over in the Pacific, Hiroshima, after the bombs were dropped. And he ended up getting terminal brain cancer and died. At the age of 38, he had 3 little boys. And it's like, you think about the laws then and who was president then, good old TBR, you know, and it's like how much has evolutionized, Erik says, since then too, Abby, he says.
Yeah.
And so he wants to let people know that every voice does matter. Every vote does count. He says everybody pays so much damn attention to that fucking horse shit, he says. Oh, she's making me swear, sorry. On the news, he says about, you know, Trump this, election that, overturn this, overturn that. He says, but nobody's paying fucking attention to the fucking state level fucking things.
Oh, my God, you're so much now.
And they're getting away with it all. He says when you can go to your towns, vote for your state legislators, he says, pay attention to who your damn senators are and your damn he's like going off right now.
Wait, what are we not paying attention to? Erik, what are we not paying attention to?
People don't go out to the polls locally. He's like yelling into the phone and talking really slow. He's going, people don't pay attention to their local areas and their local news, and they can take things into their hands and they can vote in their state. He says more things are going to go this way. He says more things are to come. Everybody's so worried about the fucking presidency. He says, but you know what? The things that you can do for yourself and your home on a smaller level are in your states.
Yeah,
and
I mean, I see a lot of parents. I see a lot of mothers and fathers running for school board positions and city council positions because they've been so upset by certain things. So getting involved,
jumping in it was down. He goes, "That's what I'm talking about, Mom. That's what I'm talking about."
Right.
He says that is calling to light workers right there. He says you got to fucking get out and revolutionize, folks.
Well, I'm a light worker. I don't freaking have time to be a part of the school board or the city council.
He's telling you excuses. He says you've got to make the time for things that matter and things that count.
But I do
if you don't, he says, who will?
I do other things that matter, but so I can't do that too. So what can light workers who cannot take a political position or a city council position, what can we do? Name some of the things we can do.
He's saying it's simple. Get out and vote. He says in your states, one vote matters. One vote counts. He says learn who your senators are. He says there's the goddamn websites, Mom. He says go on the fucking internet. He says look it up. Don't research it.
Be sure you get all views. You don't want to just take, read about your candidates through Fox News. You want to CNN, MSNBC, CNN. You need to look at all views.
He's telling you to go on your Google. He says everybody's got fucking. Wow, he's swearing a lot today. He's making me swear. I don't swear this much. But he's saying go on your phone. Well, it depends on what my kid did, okay? If he breaks something, I'm going to swear.
Oh, yeah.
He says, go on your phone, go on the computer. You have all the access in the world to technology. Go on these candidates' websites. He's telling you to go on your state website, and it's going to have all the candidates.
Well, what are their lines? We need to look at impartial viewpoints, too, right?
You look at all viewpoints. He says, do your research. He says,
right.
Even if, this is actually interesting because I didn't expect him to say this, but he says, even if you're like the most right-wing or the most left-wing, he says, it doesn't matter. He says, just like make a decision and go with it. Because instinctually, he says, obviously, you're going to go for, what makes the most sense for you and your family. Just go, just do it. His big thing is just do it, just vote, because there's just not enough voters in our town.
You can look at different candidates, and you can use your heart to give you guidance too, right?
Oh yeah, he says it's based on your comfort zone. He says most of the time, he says when you're in that poll line and you get behind the curtain there and you're checking the box, he says nobody needs to know who you voted for. Right. Nobody needs to know, unless you tell them, whatever. But it doesn't even matter because you go with your instincts. You go with who you think is the best fit. Right. And then at the end of the day, you're just making the best decision you can. You're not going to make the wrong decision, he says, because you're making a decision based on what you think is going to make you happy. And isn't that what life's all about? And he says, if nobody's going to fight for it, who is? So he says, you make that fucking time. You get down there. You get that sitter. He says, whatever, I'll watch your kid for you if you want.
Oh, boy. Eric's a babysitter.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Oh, he'd be awesome.
I'm seeing all these, birds and little bunnies, hopping around a baby right now. Like a little deer. Running around a baby's playpen. And that's his way of keeping the baby entertained while he goes.
He loves babies. He actually plays with a lot of babies. He
says, "Fuck right, I do."
Yeah, and the animals too. He plays with cats and dogs.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say before we take callers?
He's using he's using his hands right now and doing the devil horns with both of his hands, and he's fucking just go out and vote. Go vote.
Right.
He goes, just shut up and vote.
All right. That's a good message. Coming up pretty soon, and we got midterms that are still going on. Not midterms, but primaries that are going on. All right, let's go ahead and take some callers. Got one for the 250 area code. Hi there. How you doing? Hey, how you doing? 250 area code.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How can we help you?
Is this 250 area code you're calling for?
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much for taking the
Hello.
call. Hello. I'm going to change the subject a little bit. Okay, thank you. There's a gentleman
Eric's making me swear a lot, so I'm fine to change the subject.
Okay, thanks. Boy, short story. A man in our my stepdaughter's boyfriend's dad just passed away. His name is Bill. His family is, of course, pretty devastated because he was sick for a long time and in a lot of pain. I know that Erik told me that through a different path that Bill hadn't really decided whether, his soul hadn't decided whether he was going to try and pull through and live or not live. I think that the extra energy and prayer that came to Bill probably gave him the energy to die, but I'm just wondering, I have this great opportunity to ask if there was any messages for his family, for his son, who was pretty devastated by his
Okay, so
death.
This is Julie, last initial D, and you're calling from where?
Penticton, British Columbia, Canada.
Oh, that's right. All right, so what's the son's first name? For Bill, and Bill's Bill's last initial is M. Bill M.
Yep. Bill M. Yep.
And the son?
Yes, as in Sean. Son's name is Sean.
Okay. So, can we get Bill?
Yeah, so I am physically feeling like crap. Like, it's making me feel very sick. Like, so I don't know if he had a disease, but my whole being right now, my whole vibration, my whole body is really in pain and very sick.
That's typical of multiple myeloma. That's multiple myeloma, yeah. I
really don't know anything about multiple myeloma or even what it is. But I just feel awful. And so he's giving me a sense of like how he physically was feeling. And it got to a point with his, I'm sorry, that's my dog Tipsy in the background. Please ignore her.
Oh my God,
to a point where
barking.
Your dog's barking too? That's so weird.
Yeah, my dog's barking because of that.
Yeah, he physically couldn't do it anymore. And it was like he just kind of resigned. It was just, he was so sick of being sick. He just really, he had no more fight in him. He did the fight. He did the best he could. He did anything and everything he could. And he couldn't do it anymore. And when he crossed over, the last thing he said to himself when he transitioned was, okay. Just like that. Just, okay. And when he crossed, it sounds so cliche, but it's so completely true, and this is the message for your son, was that just this wave, he says, of immense peace and immense happiness came over him, and the first thing he noticed was how he didn't feel sick anymore. And in that moment, it was just the release and the peace, he says, was just unbelievable. He says, unbelievable. He says, I was so grateful to not feel physically that way anymore. He really was so tired. He was really tired. And he was just so
messages for Sean? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, he is at peace. And he never looked at it like he was giving up, and he knows nobody else looked at it like he was giving up. He wanted to continue fighting, but he just couldn't do it anymore. And he says that he's very thankful that you all and his son are very understanding of that. And he knows that he worked hard in this lifetime and that you all appreciated him for it. And he's glad to have that peace and that restfulness and that happiness. And he's bringing up his son and how proud he is. He says, who doesn't have issues? Sometimes you go back and forth again. He says, but, of course I love him. I love him. I love you, son. He says, and He says, Dad's at peace now. Dad's happy. I'm okay. He says, I'm okay, boy. I'm okay.
Is he going to try to communicate with Sean in some way? If so, how? And maybe Erik can help teach him some stuff.
So he is a lot like you, Elisa. He's like kind of putting his feet up a lot on the recliner up there.
Oh. That's what I want to do after I go.
That's what I picture you doing. I know you said that before. So he does do some things down there. He obviously is still very much with the family and around them. So he's still part of holidays and birthdays and family get-togethers and, picnics. And he's showing me, like, yard work. So I don't know if his son has a yard and does yard work, but he, like, enjoys actually going out and he's just picking up rocks and helping him out with the yard work still. And he's showing me like him mowing the lawn, and he's going right along with him. So it seems like maybe they didn't speak much when they were together, but when they were just together, that was enough. So that's a good enough. They didn't need to talk. I wonder if he did Boy Scouts, because he's showing me imagery of him when he was younger. I wonder if he did Boy Scouts.
I don't know. Yeah.
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 It might
thank
be
you.
camping, but I'm pretty sure it looks like Boy Scouts, so you'll have to ask him.
All right, Judy, thanks for calling in, and hopefully
thank you so very much.
The rest of the family feel better.
I think it will help greatly. Thank you so much for letting me talk to you, all of you.
Of course, me too.
Oh, absolutely.
Be sure you call back. Call back as many times as you wish. Oh, boy. All right, we have somebody from the 651 area code. Hi there, how you doing?
Hi, this is Christiana. Doing good. How are you?
I'm fine. Where are you coming from?
Minnesota.
Lots of Norwegians around there, like my husband.
Oh.
How can we help you, darling?
Yes. I have a question. It's about, I'm pretty sure it's a spirit of some sort that is like going into my bathroom a lot by the doorway. And my cat talks to this.
Okay.
And I was just wondering if you can gain any insight about this spirit and or what it is. And
Erik, is that an Earthbound Spirit that's maybe died there or?
Oh, okay. So I just heard grandmother. Do you have a grandmother that passed?
Yes.
Okay, it's your grandma.
I don't know about my father's side, just my mother's side.
Yeah, it's your mom's mom. So she's looking over you, and as she of course would, but she's not earthbound. She is a dimensional being, so she's already crossed over. And even though that they're not earthbound, they have this innate ability, like Erik does, to be able to play with pets and play with babies. And they can, sometimes you can catch them, and they can, like, out of the corner of your eye. And, like, if you're looking straight ahead, you'll sometimes catch something out of the corner of your eye. Sometimes you'll see an orb with your own eyeballs. That doesn't mean it's an earthbound spirit. That could be one of your loved ones. And she's giving you love.
Something positive, yeah.
Yeah, she's giving you love. The reason why, this is so sweet, the reason why she hangs out, like she walks around your house quite a bit, but she still like has this need to care for you, clean your space. So she just wants to love on you and just be there with you. I'm trying to get a feel if there's anybody else that's around your property or in your home that's any kind of presence. I am getting like a younger female in her 30s. She's a little bit more earthbound. And she actually isn't your home. She actually walks up and down your street, not to creep you out or anything. She was a younger woman that passed away from very tragic incidences on your street in the, I would say, late to mid 60s, 1960s. and so she still frequents her walks. And she's a little sad. She's a little sad, and she's a little confused, but she doesn't mean any harm.
Well, Erik,
she's doing her routine.
Transition? Or actually, Metatron is who I use with the scalar work to guide these Earthbound spirits into the light. So can you or Archangel Erik or Metatron help this young woman and help her transition, please?
So as soon as I realized it was an Earthbound spirit and not already crossed over, got her attention. So I'll actually work with her tonight, and I'm going to talk to her before I go to bed and help transition her. Which I didn't even know I could do until recently, until I had to do it for my friends, and then I was like, oh, I can do that.
That's awesome.
She's in my apartment sometimes.
How old are you?
Say it again.
Oh, I was just wondering if she was in my apartment sometimes.
Yeah. How old are you?
36.
Okay, so where she was in her early 30s too, she feels like you have belongings and you have things that she can relate with, and you have a life in a world that she can relate with. So she does frequent, she says. She does not mean any harm. She just really she loves her mom. She just loves her mom, and she just misses her mom. And so it just makes her feel good. And it's kind of funny because she'll go in various areas. She's not going, I'm going to go in this girl's house right now. It's not like that. She's not having those thought processes. She's just drawn to your energy.
Okay.
And so when you're chatting on the phone with your friends and laughing and singing a song, yeah, those are the things that she's particularly drawn to, because that was her life. That's what she used to do.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
we're
I would just
the next caller.
Work on it tonight.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm sorry to cut off, but we have so many callers.
We have one. Okay. Thank you for calling.
Yes. 412 Erik. Hi there. How you doing?
Hi, Lisa. This is Lori from Pittsburgh.
Hi, Lori.
Hi. I've called him before. I lost my son Jacob to leukemia in May, and I'm having a hard time with it. And I was wondering if he had a message for me or for his dad's here too. And also, I just was wondering if we're in the same soul group, if I've had other lives or if I will have other lives with him.
Abby, Lori has such profound grief. More than which of course grief is grief. I mean, it reminds me of the profound grief I had with Erik's death. So I was wondering, and I told Lori today that it's really weird that Erik's initials ERM and my initials are ERM, and he's born September 21st. I'm born February the 21st, which is 6 months. And I always felt like we were twin flames, and I found out that we were. So in Lori's case, is her son Jacob her twin flame or a soulmate or both?
They've played multiple roles together in different lifetimes. They choose a lot to come in together. Do you have a daughter too?
Yes, I have two daughters. Yes.
Okay, because
go ahead.
Sorry, one of your daughters. Okay, I don't know if there's. Hopefully they're not listening. But I don't know if there's one that's closer to. But
yes,
one of your daughters, and him and you, come in very regularly in a very close-knit circumstance of family, where one of your other daughters and your husband, he may come in, or if he's an ex, whatever, not always as immediate family, but they might be like an uncle or like a stepdad or somebody like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
that's his sister, Allie, who was his bone marrow donor, and they're very close and very much alike. So, yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's so hard for you guys. I'm so sorry. So, yeah. So, too broad to sit here and be like, oh, he's your soulmate, or oh, he's your twin flame, or oh, you're both, because you guys are just like intertwined your souls together forever.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
You know, and on every level, twin flame, soulmate, doesn't matter. Like you guys just you're one as a whole. Like you're together.
Yes.
You know, and the reason why it hurts so bad. I mean, I haven't felt this, and you and Elisa have, so I'm not one to talk, but it hurts so bad anyways, going through the loss of a child. But for you, it was like, and for Allie, it's like this part of you guys, like half of your body literally just got sliced away from you. So it's just like finding this peace and this understanding that, you know, Elisa will be able to give you really profound, great advice on how
she's
to
helped me
cope.
so much. She's helped me
because
so
this,
much.
what you're missing, you know, the most is the other half of you, and you're missing the touch. You're missing the physical. You know he's there. You can feel him, and he says he can touch you, and you can feel that too. He says, but you're just in this place of lower level vibration, which is obviously very understandable. And so it's harder for him sometimes to reach you in the physical. And so obviously while you're sleeping, it's easier for him. He's saying you have lots of nightmares because you've had a lot of PTSD from just going through all of this, no matter how well prepared you think that it could happen. It doesn't matter. It was very, 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 very traumatic for you, just as a terrible car accident. He's telling me, Eric's telling me, it's just as bad as if he was in a tragic car accident, that there was no signs of it ever happening. That's how severe this PTSD is for you, with the intensity of the pain.
Yeah.
And
so he's okay. He's okay. Jacob's okay. That's what I want to know.
He is absolutely okay. He is
a
young, spirited man. He's very funny. He's funny.
He is. He was funny. He's funny.
Can we get a message for the father? Because I don't want to ignore his pain.
Yeah.
Because fathers are often the invisible grievers, right?
That's right. Jacob's dad's here, and he misses him a lot too.
This is so sweet. He's telling me that he has the best parents in the whole world. He says, I have the best family in the whole world. He says, and you know, not a lot of kids brag about their families, but he bragged about his families like he would a girlfriend. Like, you know, the guys that are like, I had the prettiest girl in school. Nope. He brags about how he had the best family that he could have ever chosen to come on this planet with.
You know, I know you have a lot of calls waiting, but, you know, I feel bad that he never got to fall in love and get married and stuff. And
he says he did fall in love, Mom. He says he did.
Yes.
He did fall in love. Go back to the Elvis video that Courtney did on YouTube, and you'll hear Elvis, and when she says, you know, when Elisa says, who was your soulmate on this earth? And I'm expecting him to say Priscilla, and he says his mom.
Okay. We just saw that movie, Elvis. Okay, thank you so much.
I just saw it the other day. I think that's why I referenced it.
Wow.
but the love that you had in that relationship is still there. It's still there.
Okay.
And I'm here too if you ever want to talk, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Oh, she's had such a hard time. Okay, 845 area code. Hi there, how you doing? I pushed but it didn't work. Sorry.
Hello?
There we go. 845 area code. How are you doing? Welcome to the show.
My name is Maria. I call from New York.
Hi, Maria from New York. How can we help you?
All right. I want to know if I'm going to travel. If I'm going to receive a settlement, if I'm going to travel to go in Italy, please.
If you're going to what?
In Italy.
You're going to return to Italy.
Yes.
Okay.
Does the number 56 mean anything to you? How old are you?
Me? Oh, yeah. I'm old. You want to know my birthday? I'll tell you. I'm 80. I did it just last month.
You're 80? Oh, my goodness. When's the last time you were there? Because I'm getting the number 56, so that means something. Okay, so, Erik, what do you think? He's talking about how you're the sweetest lady ever and how you're a very good cook. Okay.
Thank you.
So I say things straightforward and how it is because, I'm a medium and that's my job. It comes in and it comes out of my mouth, okay? So
right.
He is letting me know that there is a very big possibility that you may not get to Italy like you want to. However, right, humans have free will, and so let's talk about setting yourself up in a position to get to Italy. That's what you need to focus on right now. If you really want to go to Italy, you have to manifest it. And it's not just about thinking about it. You have to, do things to work towards it.
Like what?
He's showing me. Okay, so, he says scheduling conflicts. He says that's that. And then health reasons, and the flight.
What?
And then scheduling conflicts, he says, I don't know if you were going to have some. Is your husband still around?
No, my husband passed away. Give me some water.
Okay. Is there somebody that you could go with to Italy to go visit?
Oh, my daughter.
Your daughter. So if I were you, I would get with your daughter. Erik says start planning it. He says start planning it, start manifesting it by taking action. So you have to do a little bit more than you're doing right now, he says, for you to be able to make that trip, because it's not going to just happen all on its own. So, if your daughter can help you book the tickets, if it comes down to money and trying to figure out how you can fundraise for yourself, maybe getting back to Italy, he says, it's going to take a little bit of work. It's not impossible. It can happen.
Yeah, reaching out to relatives there. Maybe they can support you for a while, All right, so...
Would it be difficult for you to go?
I don't understand what you're saying. You can repeat again, please?
Would it be difficult for you to go to Italy?
Yeah, if and I have.
Do you have anyone to stay with if you were there? Like relatives or friends?
Oh, we go and stay in a hotel.
What?
Okay.
We're going to go in a hotel to stay. We got a relative, but we not stay.
They got a villa. Okay.
Oh,
we not stay with relative.
Okay. So if I were you, I would really, Erik's encouraging you. He says, listen, you have to stay focused. He says you have to stay focused. You have to send it love, and you have to actually just do it. He says if you just keep waiting around forever, it's not going to just fall in your lap.
Yeah,
he
just
says
go.
You have to take
the
some
tickets
steps.
if you can and go. All right. Thank you, darling.
Thank you so much.
She's going to end up going, I think. I do.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
Just like what Erik said, she just needs to take the steps and make it happen.
Yes,
She's not doing enough to actually make it happen for herself.
Right.
I think it's Italian night. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah. We got somebody from the 757 area code. Hi there. How you doing?
Good evening, Elisa. Good evening, Michelle. This is Andre from Virginia Beach. Thank you for taking my call.
Hi, Andre from Virginia Beach.
Virginia Beach. Heck
I
yeah.
knew it was going to be a guy for some reason.
Because you're a medium. You're psychic.
Psycho, maybe.
Thank you, Michelle, for the message. Appreciate that. I have a question about me and my wife and the relationship. Do we have any past lives together? Or, are they a soulmates? Anything on this topic?
What's your wife's first name?
Marina.
Marina. Okay.
That's pretty.
Okay. Oh, it's beautiful. Any other lives together?
Yes. The last 3 for sure, you played out the role of husband and wife, just right in their order. Like you were still a man, she was still a woman. So boom, boom, boom. And the reason why is because you, not her, but you kept going, I can do it better. I can do it better. I can love you more. I can be better. So every lifetime you're very stubborn about just learning this lesson, whatever, it's not one particular lesson. I feel like you're really stubborn, and you, I don't want to, like, I'm not trying to give you any negative connotations. Like, I don't know you from a hole in the wall, but I feel like you're like, yeah, I feel like you're like really, I wouldn't say necessarily persuasive, but a little controlling, but maybe that's just like how you were raised in your culture. You know what I mean? But it's not for the sense of you want to see her happy. Like, you genuinely do. You're not trying to be an asshole. You know what I mean? And I feel like you're a very hard worker, like very, very hard worker. And so, you know, it's just that every time you keep coming back in the last 3, you guys have just chose to come back and just continually play the husband and wife. And Eric's saying it's because you guys are a good team. There's a couple lifetimes here where she died. She died before you. You died before her. One of them, she was like, not last time, but the one before, she was young when she passed away. So it's like you didn't have enough time in that marriage. She was young when she had passed away. So it was like, wait a second, we didn't get enough time together. You know, so it's not always about a lesson. It's just sometimes it's like, I wasn't down there long enough. Let me back. Let me back. You know? Like, and you guys actually really choose to come down to earth. So some people, like, really just resonate with, like, other galaxies and other planets and things like that, and there's such star seeds, but you guys are actually, you really prefer the earth as your arena to learn your lessons. So you come down here multiple times together. Your last one, you guys were not in this country. You were in Europe. It's funny because I want to say Italy, but I don't know if that's just because we were just talking to so many people that were Italian, but but I swear to God, like I feel like I'm seeing the peninsula of Italy.
It would be interesting for you to get a past life reading, you and your wife. Veronica Drake does it, maybe Abby does it, but you know, Abby seems to get a good hold on you. So I think that's the next step to make. All right, thank you, Andre, for calling in. And Marina, give her our love.
Thank you.
Okay, have somebody from the 910 area code. Hi there, how you doing?
Hi, this is Belinda from North Carolina.
Hey, Belinda, how you doing?
Belinda.
I'm doing good. We've got an anniversary of the death of my uncle and aunt a couple years back. And towards the end, he was suffering from mental illness.
Oh.
And we still don't have too many answers if it was medication or not.
What's his first name?
Paul and Kathy Adams.
Wait, did they die at the same time?
It was a murder-suicide.
Oh, I knew it. I felt that. So what happened, Erik?
Okay, so so it looks like they were older. They weren't young. And
correct.
He actually had he's making me think of Robin Williams. And, you know, I was just reading an article today, which is so ironic, and there's no such thing as irony, I've noticed, whenever I do readings, and things fall into that same day because there's a reason for it. And he was they were talking about, you know, they think Robin Williams died of, like, depression, but really it was because it was, like, a form of dementia. And he had some other really serious, he had just been diagnosed with Parkinson's and stuff like that. So that's Robin Williams. But with your uncle, he also had some very debilitating, you're right, it wasn't just mental illness, it was actually it was a diagnosable, untreatable disease in his brain that no form of medication and counseling would have been able to help him with. And it made him very bipolar.
Okay.
Wow. Like his highs were very high, his lows were very low. I'm hearing Erik say that he was irrational sometimes with his thought processes. Oh yeah, actually they're together on the other side, and they're actually being very loving to each other. Okay,
yeah,
so obviously
she told him that he wasn't going to leave without her before in a statement to him, and that's what we figured. In a way, they had an agreement.
Yeah, probably a spirit contract.
Thank you for that, because she was just saying, like, she has her arm around his back and his hand on his stomach, and they're a lot younger as they're presenting themselves to me. They're presenting themselves like whatever age they were in the late 60s, and she's telling me right now that she knew when he went that she would go too. And she says, what am I supposed to do? I can't just leave him.
Yeah.
She really was taking care of him. She was
asleep.
It happened very quickly when it did happen. Mm-hmm. So it didn't give her the time to thought process out what was actually happening. It's just more that she was there to catch him when he fell. And it was a soul contract to come into this lifetime together, and they had this agreement worked out. So it's not like just it's hard to understand, but it's not like this just happened. Like, this was a planned out love affair.
Excellent.
And it looks like there were some real issues in their marriage, I'm not going to lie. There was some other things there, too, other than just the fact that whatever he had chemically in his brain was going on, whether it was some kind of form of dementia or something.
Addiction.
Oh, maybe
that son had an addiction.
Oh. I see her crying.
One that found him. Yes.
Oh, man.
Absolutely.
That's awful. Yeah, I see her really yelling a lot, crying a lot. Her life was not that easy. It doesn't look like they had a lot of money. She really, like, her voice was so shuttered when she was young. So she never really got in her lifetime. She says, I never really felt the need to speak her truth. Sometimes she, like, gave peace of mind, she says, but it wasn't important to her to have to. They have an accent like you do, so obviously they must have grown up and lived near you.
Exactly.
But, yep. So I just want to leave you with the fact that they're on the other side and they made it together, and she is okay with it. She knew it was supposed to happen that way, and she's okay with it. She says, yeah, I'm okay with it. So they're
all right. So, all right. So we're gonna have to close now, so we don't run into the other show. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Erik. I love you. Thank you, Abby. This was amazing. You were so on, and you can get in touch with her. Brightside Medium, right?
Yeah, brightsidemedium.com.
All right, you guys be sure to share, hit the notification button, and subscribe. Love you all.
Erik says, love you, Ma. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Go out and fucking vote.